The second day of the hearing in Fulton County, Georgia, about the Trump co-defendants' motion to disqualify District Attorney Fani Willis from the case began as Andrew Weissmann predicted it would begin. Because Fani Willis's lawyer decided not to ask her any more questions, that meant that the Trump team of lawyers did not get another chance to ask questions of Fani Willis, and so she gave no more testimony today. Andrew Weissmann predicted that would happen because it appeared from the Fani Willis side of the case yesterday that she had established everything she needed to establish in that testimony yesterday, and there was no reason to continue it. Then Fani Willis's lawyer called two witnesses in support of her testimony. The first witness was the former governor of Georgia, Roy Barnes, who is a highly experienced trial lawyer. He impressed everyone in the courtroom on both sides. He testified that Fani Willis offered him the job of special prosecutor in charge of the case against Donald Trump and his co-defendants. His testimony refuted the Trump team lawyer's claim that Fani Willis hired her boyfriend, Nathan Wade, for the job of special prosecutor so that she could then go on vacation trips with Nathan Wade and profit from his spending on her through the paycheck that she was giving him. That is the Trump team lawyer's theory of the case. Now that the testimony in the hearing is over, we can say that there was absolutely no evidence presented at all that Fani Willis intended to profit from Nathan Wade's position or that she incidentally profited from that position in any way. Zero evidence for the fundamental reason that this hearing was held. Fani Willis and Nathan Wade both testified that their romantic relationship began after Nathan Wade began working in the district attorney's office. Here was former Governor Barnes' testimony about why he didn't want the job of special prosecutor that eventually went to Nathan Wade. He didn't want to be the special prosecutor of the man who tried to overturn the presidential election in Georgia and sent a violent mob to attack the Capitol on January 6th.
I'd lived with bodyguards for 4 years, and I didn't like it. And I wasn't going to live with bodyguards for the rest of my life.
So the terrorism of Donald Trump and his mobs worked in that particular instance. There was shocking testimony in the late afternoon today when Terrence Bradley, who was Nathan Wade's law partner and was the first lawyer involved in handling Nathan Wade's divorce, took the witness stand and testified that he did have communication with the Trump team lawyer who filed this motion against Fani Willis. But that wasn't the shocking part. The shocking part came on cross-examination by Fani Willis's lawyer, who revealed why Terrence Bradley might have been in contact with one of the Trump team lawyers.
You left the firm. The firm remained the same as far as other employees, Mr. Wade, Mr. Campbell, as the named partners of the firm. You were the one who left, correct?
That is correct.
And you termed it as a disagreement. You recall answering questions as though you left due to a disagreement. Yes?
Yes.
And that disagreement was that there was an allegation of sexual assault by an employee made against you, correct?
That is incorrect.
There was not an allegation that you sexually assaulted one of the employees in the firm.
That is incorrect, but yes. Yes.
Yes, there was an allegation that you sexually assaulted a member of the firm, correct?
Yes, there was an allegation, yes.
Did you sexually assault any clients of your firm?
No.
Never?
Never.
Who's Anna Rodriguez?
I don't even know that name.
You don't recall a client named Anna Rodriguez?
Anna Rodriguez? No, I do not.
Never met her?
I do not recall the name Anna Rodriguez.
The next witness the state would call would be Anna Rodriguez. Question, Mr. Bradley, about the sexual assault of Ms. Rodriguez, a client of the firm.
The judge did not allow that testimony by Anna Rodriguez, saying it was too far afield from the essence of the hearing. The most impressive witness of the day was the man who helped make Fani Willis who she is, her father, John Clifford Floyd III. He is a retired attorney who practiced law in Washington, D.C. and around the world, including working in South Africa with Nelson Mandela and working for 4 years in Rwanda. Fani Willis's father testified that he moved in with her in the summer of 2019 when Fani Willis had a boyfriend who was a DJ who was frequently at her house. That conflicts with the Trump team lawyers' claim that Fani Willis began dating Nathan Wade in 2019. Fani Willis's father said he never once saw Nathan Wade at their home and never met him until this year. Mr. Floyd explained why his daughter had to move out of the house.
There have been so many death threats, and they said they were going to blow up the house. They were going to kill her. They were going to kill me. They were going to kill my grandchildren. I mean, on and on and on. It just, it became, and I was concerned for her safety.
The people who were threatening to kill him and his daughter and his grandchildren are the supporters of the clients of the lawyers who were all facing him in that room today, some of them questioning him. When the lawyer representing Donald Trump questioned Fani Willis's father, he handled the questioning, her father handled the questioning, as gracefully and as professionally as former Governor Barnes did. There wasn't even a hint of anything but professional respect that attorney John Clifford Floyd III showed to his fellow attorney, the lawyer for Donald Trump, the man who has called his daughter a racist, the man who has never, ever told his supporters not to threaten her life and not to threaten her father's life and not to threaten her children's lives. Because of security precautions now in place, Fani Willis's father doesn't get to see her very much anymore.
I've only seen my daughter 13 times because I can't, and we've never seen each other more than maybe 3 hours because of, you know, the nightmare threats against her and me.
Yesterday, Fani Willis testified that her father always advised her to make sure she always had enough cash on hand to deal with whatever surprise might come her way.
Your Honor, I'm not trying to be racist, okay? But it's a black thing, okay? You know, I was trained, and most black folks, they hide cash or they keep cash. And I trained, you always keep some cash because I've been places, and just because of the color of my skin, for example, I took a fellowship at Harvard when my daughter was just if I might, Your Honor, when I was just, she was just, you know, maybe 3 years old. And I remember going to a restaurant in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I had a American Express credit card and maybe a Visa or whatever. And I had a lot of what they call traveler's checks. I don't even know if they still have traveler's checks, but traveler's checks. And there was a sign said, you know, with the credit card. For whatever reasons, the man would not take my American Express credit card. So I pulled out my Visa card, and he wouldn't take my Visa card. So then I pulled out my traveler's checks. He said, we don't take checks. Now, these were traveler's checks. This was money. I had a $10 bill. I'll never forget this as long as I live. And he said, the bill for my wife at the time, Fani's mother, Fani and myself, was like $9.95, and I had a $10 bill. That was all that. And I always remember that. But even before that, I've always kept cash, you know, and I've told my daughter, you keep 6 months worth of cash always. For example, I had 3 safes in my house. I put some of my clients' stuff there too, things I didn't want other lawyers to be, I mean, because you're always in a firm, and I knew that there were special conditions. So some of my clients' things I would bring home, put them in the safe. But I've always kept safes. And as a matter of fact, I gave my daughter her first cash box and told her always keep some cash.